I think that's a healthy thing when you're building a business, to understand that people buy from real people. And so you must understand what people want. Understanding the psychology of human beings. It requires you to be authentic. So you want to build a business. You have to first begin with... So you want to start your own business. What does it take? You have to first begin with a why. And I know that's kind of a cliche, you got to start with why, but there has to be a deep motivation for that goal of starting your business. And motivation can vary. When I started my business, I did it for two reasons. Number one, freedom. And the second one was fun. I wanted complete autonomy. I wanted to work for myself, not for anyone else. And I wanted to do something that I enjoyed. Along with that, I had to feed the wife and kids. That was a strong motivating factor. Freedom, fun, and the need to provide. So if you're going to start a business, there has to be a strong motivating factor. And why is that strong motivating factor vital? Because if you're going to build a business, you have to have a tremendous capacity for enduring pain, for enduring difficulties and setbacks. And without that strong why, without that motivating factor, without either the carrot or the stick, it's going to be very difficult for you to endure that pain. Not only do you have to be able to endure pain, but then you also have to be able to influence other people. You have to influence people to buy what you're selling. You have to influence people to come and work for you. You have to be able to influence them to work with you. So if you're going to build a business, there has to be something in you that is able to rally people to you and for you. Understanding what people want, understanding the psychology of human beings, either in a conscious way or a subconscious way. It requires you to be authentic. People buy from real people. And so you must understand yourself to an extent, and you must be genuine in the way that you present yourself, because people flee from fakes. Then you have to have the ability to seize the moment. You have to seize the moment when you have an opportunity to grow your business, to expand your business, and you have to have the courage to be able to seize those moments. What else do you need? You have to have humility. Humility to understand that you can't do it all yourself. Humility to understand your circle of competency. In other words, to know the things that you do best, that unlike other people, get you paid, the things where you make a real difference. But not only that kind of humility, you also have to have a curiosity about you and a willingness to learn things that perhaps you're not very good at. And there's a balance there, isn't there? Because you want to focus on things that you're really good at and delegate the rest on the one hand. But on the other hand, you have a capacity to learn and a capacity to grow, and that helps to increase your circles of competency. You must have a big ego or a tremendous amount of self-belief. And where does that ego or self-belief come from? For some people, it's just innate, and I don't know where that comes from. It's just part of who they are. I'll give you an example. I am very rarely nervous when I'm speaking in front of other people in a public speaking setting. I don't know why that is, but I've never been nervous, whereas most people in the population are nervous. And I've been able to leverage that in building my business and in building my career in a way that perhaps other people can't. But you also have to marry that ego, or perhaps grow that ego or that confidence because of your competency. The more competent you are, the more confident you are. The more confident you are and competent, the more you're able to solve problems and add value for people. And in doing so, by the way, that makes you extremely attractive to other people who will want to work for you and with you and buy what you're selling. So that competency really adds to your ability to be self-confident or to have a healthy ego that is expressed in a beneficial way for yourself and other people. You must have a system of support as well. Again, when I started my business, I had the unequivocal 100% support of my wife, which was vital. When I started my business, I didn't have any money, but I did have the support of my wife and her confidence in me. And that was indispensable as I was going through the deep pain of building my business. And so you too, if you're going to build a business, need a support system, people that you can lean on, people that you can talk to about the difficulties and the challenges. Even if they can't necessarily understand everything, at least they'll be able to listen to you. And then finally, you need some luck. I remember a guy I used to work for back in the day, and he built a business very successfully when he was a young man, late 20s, early 30s, relatively young. And he would always talk about how lucky he was. And I looked at him and I didn't think he was lucky. I thought he was talented. But he perceived himself as lucky. And I think that's a healthy thing when you're building a business, to understand that luck plays a huge role in it, you could say, where you meet people unexpectedly or in ways that you wouldn't have imagined. And those connections helped you to build the business. But I also think that the harder you work, the luckier you get, right? That's the cliche. So you want to build a business. Let me just review what you've got to be able to do. You have to have that deep why. You have to have the ability to influence people. You have to have humility. You have to be able to endure a tremendous amount of pain. You must have a big ego and a tremendous amount of self-belief that's rooted in something intangible, but also in deep competency. You must have a system of support, and then you need luck. So think about it. You have what it takes to start a business. You may never know unless you try.